What's up, bro? It's your homegirl Ivy. We are here. Welcome to the Rawrrzone. We heading out the door. We're going on location to the first ever Happy Munkey Dispensary in Dyckman. Come hang out with us. I am here. It took at least 4 years to make this happen, but we're here right now. We are in the first ever legalized dispensary here in Dyckman, courtesy of the boys of Happy Munkey. Everyone, clap, 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 clap. Woohoo! So, who do I have with me here?
Vladimir Bautista, co-founder and CEO of Happy Munkey.
Ramon Reyes, co-founder and creator of Happy Munkey.
So Happy Munkey essentially started building within an online community. Did you guys expect? Well, let me give this to you because I already have a microphone right here and I'm talking to two microphones. Did you guys expect in a matter of 4 years for you guys to have made so much awareness for legalization of cannabis while making strides in your own community?
Well, we didn't exactly know what to expect, but we just knew that we were on the right path because we believe this plant should have been legal a long time ago. We had been in the industry before the government agreed with us that it was legal, so we just knew that we wanted to be part of the evolution of what it's going to.
I mean, I would hope so.
Well, exactly like he said. I would kind of add to that. We didn't know. We were just kind of like going with our good intentions. We were just making sure that everybody, knows that this it wasn't a harmful plant. We always knew that. We always believed in it, and our proof was that we got people together and we kind of showed that it was a harmonious community.
So you guys haven't been just only about community within your own neighborhood. You guys have actually, you showed us over here, you've been giving back to different causes, helping with poverty. How have you guys been able to make it possible?
Well, we just always knew that, cannabis is a huge industry. We knew that it was starting to get legalized around the country, and we just wanted to make sure that when it happened here, that it was equitable, that all the right people knew the information, and that we were taking our platform to use it for righteousness and for goodness for the community and the culture.
Well, yeah, I think we just added to what was already what was already happening, right? We were the spot at the moment where all these minds would kind of get together, so we kind of just added to that.
You just recently talked about equity. How have you been able now, using what you know, to help more minority-owned business be able to come up in this emerging trend and culture?
Well, a small example is that we have a podcast with over 100 episodes, and usually when businesses like this emerge, they expect for us to be crabs in a barrel and not support each other. But before we opened, we already had some of the other equity operators like Turp Bros, shout out to Jeremy, Kaz from Con Bud. We had a Sohan from Queens. So we already were using our platform to empower other people that aligned with our values and came from the same struggles that we did.
How were you guys able to make it not seem like taboo? Because I don't know about you, but I grew up at a time where you guys remember 7-7 and they said, "Oh my God, if we smoke weed."
Yeah. Well, we come from a big culture of Dominican background, right? So it was always been taboo. It's always been like a, "Oh no, you can't smoke weed" thing. But the thing is that since we had the information and we kind of knew it was like the most harmless drug on the block, that it was kind of like that, right? So we kind of grew up knowing that it was already a harmless situation. And we just kind of added it to to what we were doing and kind of just letting people know the information.
Okay. So we're gonna make our way over there.
Yo, YBH.
like you said, you market it off a social media platform. How were you able to though grow it? I guess the way you grew the monkey, the evolution.
Well, I think what people need to understand is that we were basically already a culture before the brand, right? Before someone knew that we were already like a part of the culture because we were part of the legacy market. We were already a part of. We already knew what was happening from coast to coast before we cultivated the brand. So I think once we kind of like put the brand together, I think once we kind of like just put the brand together is when we just kind of like emerged as a legit situation, right? So I think Happy Monkey was pretty much just kind of showing people from the beginning we just wanted to have people get together, people enjoy the plant together, and then from there we kind of like realized that it was actually a legal department, and we you know
Go ahead, lady.
go ahead, no worries. We're good. Um, you know, and then we realized there was a legal we didn't even first of all we again since we came from the legacy market we didn't even understand there was a legal market, right? So being able that with the events and everything that we were going to following the conferences, you know, putting pretty much everything on the line, and you know Blast started speaking, doing speaking events and all that stuff. We kind of emerged from that, right? We kind of like let people know like that we were rock, and we just kind of just been our authentic selves. We just didn't change.
Where did the whole concept for where did the concept of Happy Monkey actually come from, though?
So the concept of actually Happy Monkey, right? So at the time, you know, me and Vlad, we've done a lot of traveling together. We went to California, then I went to Amsterdam and kind of saw how the Amsterdam cafes were going on. Then when I got back, the weed culture here was kind of like tough, right? It was kind of like the sessions and like everybody had these like real tough brands, and we were already coming from a tough background, so we really didn't want to have a brand with the tough exterior, the tough energy. We wanted a brand that kind of got everybody together and made everybody feel good. So I kind of came up with something called Happy Monkey. A monkey was already my spirit animal, and happy is something that we wanted everybody to feel.
Okay. What about you? Everyone has their own meaning behind it. Where did it come from for you?
No, it's similar. It's just that you know, we noticed everybody was trying to be rough and tough and gangster, and we knew that through our events, through our brand, you could come.
Don't worry, it's getting cut out.
You will come every Monday through our events and through everything we were doing. We were making people happy, and we wanted to be inclusive and not make the name anything that will make anybody feel like we weren't approachable or we weren't inviting. So that's not like
You talk about do over here. We have do it for the culture, right? Which I love that moniker. How do you feel now that we're in 2024, especially with the rise of like opioids, and you have already started talking about it before, but making the cannabis culture a much safer place for people to be able to consume and to understand?
Well, we think it's really important because cannabis has been around forever, you know, so that's not new. What's new is the evolution of it, what is happening, and how it impacts our society, whether it comes from a medicinal perspective, to an economic perspective, to a moral perspective, and I feel like that's what's missing now, what we're trying to highlight, because people already been known about cannabis forever, and now it's just time for people to understand all the different hidden benefits that it has for society.
Okay. So can you guys tell us about this all over again? Because I was really impressed by that, especially when you went more into.
This is the first legal dispensary in Inwood, Washington Heights, right? So what happens is we know how it is, especially us coming from the legacy market, coming from humble beginnings, coming from the hood, how things can be intimidating. So this helps people learn a lot without asking anybody anything and feeling dumb. So you start first with cannabis, and it tells you the difference between indoor, greenhouse, and outdoor. Then another big thing is, even though there's 4 million Spanish-speaking people in New York State, 60 million in the country, nobody thought it was a good idea to have things, you know, translated in Spanish, because you got to make things digestible and approachable for people. Next, cannabinoids. People that are not inside the cannabis loop as far as the industry assume cannabis is just to get high. That is simply not true. Different cannabinoids have different benefits. So right here we break down how it can be for pain, sleep, anxiety, appetite, and etc. And now people learn all the different cannabinoids that can help them get this feeling that they need on whatever issue they're dealing with.
So before you go to terpenes, right? I just want to know: is there ever such thing as smoking too much cannabis or consuming too much cannabis?
Well, I don't think like from a health perspective, but from a mental perspective, if you're trying to be functional or you gotta go do something, maybe you want to gauge how you want to smoke. If you're gonna be driving or etc., that's the only thing I would say you want to gauge. You know.
Okay.
Look, my partner has anything on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it all depends, right? Is if are you trying to smoke till you go to sleep? Then yeah, I guess there isn't a smoke till you smoke too much. But yeah, like you just said, it all depends, right? It all depends what you're up to. It all depends what you're doing. If you're smoking just to get hungry and kind of get you want to continue to function, you're not gonna continue to just smoke all day. You're not. I mean, you're not gonna die from it.
Yeah.
So maybe too much doesn't exist, but yeah, there is an exist, and if there should be a limit, because if you want to function, you shouldn't smoke too much.
So what's been your biggest challenge, being that you guys are like the forefront of the legalization efforts here in New York City? What's been your biggest challenge putting all of this together?
Well, one of the biggest challenges was putting this all together, right? So, as simple as that sounds, right? But making sure, once we got our license and going through the process, it took us a while, and having patience and being able to transition and being able to, make different decisions now, because now this is all legal and we've got to be compliant, and you got to make sure that things are run a certain way. So yeah, I think just being able to transition was really a big challenge.
And then I think another big challenge was us seeing what everybody else is doing throughout the country and the rest of the state and making sure that what we did was different than that. That was a challenge because, it sounds simple, but it's really complicated to accomplish. So I think that was another big challenge. Well, you want me to go into the terpenes? So terpenes is something that is not just in cannabis, it's in fruits, it's in vegetables, it's in a lot of other things. And what people don't know is that they each have their different medicinal benefits, and right here, people can learn what they all are and what medicinal benefits they have. A lot of people don't know what's legal because there's been so much confusion with 5,000 trap shops, especially up here where there was no legal representation. How would they know what the difference is? So here we highlight what's currently legal. It's not federally legal. State wide it's legal. You must be 21 and older to enter the facility. Most you could buy is 3 ounces of flour, 24 grams of concentrates. New York State is the only place in the world where you can smoke cannabis anywhere you can smoke tobacco. A lot of people don't know that, and you can't smoke in these places. Safety. People need to know, not just us, but anywhere you go. This is how you know a cannabis dispensary is licensed. They must have this. You also have to know that everything that's in here is lab tested, potency verified, label accuracy. Like you mentioned earlier, for somebody that's a beginner, go slow with smaller amounts, and consider all the different THC and CBD levels and terpene levels before. Everywhere where legal dispensary opens, opioid use drops. So that's important for people to know because as people start consuming more cannabis, they consume less alcohol and less opioids and a lot of other things. And for people to know what are the dangers of shopping at an illicit shop, they could be laced with fentanyl, could be laced with other chemicals, which won't happen when things are lab tested. This is another important one. People say, you know, there's cannabis around every corner around here. You don't have to pay taxes. Where do the taxes go? Well, this explains it to you. 9% of the taxes go to public education, statewide drug treatment programs, community reinvestment, and then 4% go immediately to this zip code. Why is that important? Because New York State is on the verge of hitting $1 billion by the end of the year in sales in 3 years. prior to us opening, this community never got a penny because there was nobody operating locally.
Feel like now that it's becoming more accepted in New York City, you'll see more licenses being granted because I know that process takes a long time.
Most definitely, because just like we're learning, they're learning, and we have 200 now in 3 years, which is pretty good, and I believe there's more to come. So I think definitely.
So how about we look at some of your favorite products? Because I know you guys have like
Well, I won't get specific because we can't necessarily promote specific brands, but what I would tell you is that I think the product is better than what people expected. You know what I mean? Especially me, right? So because we all been smoking for years, we're hoping that legal weed is gonna be great, right? Or that it's not, that it's horrible. And last year, not gonna lie, it wasn't that great. It was a lot of bad outdoor. But now, since we got so many different types of flower now, I think it's great. I think we got all types of strains that people didn't expect to have. And there's haze in the market, there's sour in the market, there's all sorts of good flavors like mandarin cookies, there's cheddar melt, so there's all these different types of good flavor that's coming, and then I think it's only gonna get better, right? So I think just because like he just said earlier, the market is very young. We're only 3 years old. And now the good product is even younger, right? Because now the good product just started at the top of this year. But so by the end of this year, we're all gonna have great products. So all the good stuff is gonna come out. Better growers we're gonna have better growers. We're gonna have better strains, and then more strains are coming out by the month. So as far as like my favorites, it's still like it all depends on like the day, right? So sometimes I like mandarin cookies for the daytime, or I'll smoke something like cheddar milk for the nighttime. You know.
Now, my question for you: Are you using a bong? Are you using a vape?
I'm a little bit old school. I'm still rolling up. I'm still rolling up my Dutches, and I'm still sometimes smoking my J's, and that's what I stick to.
What about you, my friend?
I'm old school. I still like my blunts. I hit a joint once in a while, but we rock with the blunts. I think something else important to point out to add to what Ramon was saying, because even I was surprised. We all expected legal cannabis to be so much more expensive than the streets and to the legacy market, and that is absolutely not true. There are amazing apes in here for $26. That is very comparable to anything you get in the streets for high quality stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the stigmas that people have, like Ramon said, that it's not going to be as high quality and it's not going to be as price point matched, is incorrect. They are both starting to align with each other.
Absolutely, and both are about to get better. Product is gonna get better. Prices are gonna get better.
What would you want to tell people that are now getting into cannabis and they don't know like who you guys are, but they want to get to know the brand?
Well, first, always choose happy, right? But yeah, we're a brand that we come from legacy, and if you don't know what legacy means, that means that we were in cannabis when before cannabis was legal. We come from an event space as well. We're event producers. We come from innovative space in cannabis, so we're not just like regular event guys. And then we're activists. We love cannabis, and this was a lifelong dream, and now we have been able to open this dispensary.
I want people to know that you pull up to 151 Dyckman, and we're very approachable. We always want to share the knowledge that's been shared with us. We believe that none of us are free until we're all free. So we understand that the more people get into the industry, transition from legacy to legal, the better for all of us. So we're always willing to share information and share the trials and tribulations that got us here.
Guys, before I ask my question, tell us what we got over here. We got to show it off.
Over here, we got our merchandise. We got T-shirts, rolling papers, ashtrays, socks, ashtrays, rolling trays, and grinders.
What's a good maintenance tip for someone that's getting into the community?
Okay, so one of my favorite things here, to be honest, oh, it's not. Oh, yeah, it's the grinder. For me, because I'm an old school crusher, I'm an old school grinder. I still call it crusher, right? It's bladelets. It's a flour mill grinder because it kind of still leaves the weed fluffed up. So I love using that, and I can, it still leaves my blunts nice and healthy. But yeah, I love also the rubber ashtrays because these are like very like you can very durable and they're super washable. So like they're like last like forever. Yeah. Shout out to the fucking the tote bags.
Oh, yeah, fancy.
Yeah.
Move over. Okay.
Yeah. And shout out to the candles, the scented candles.
We like candles.
Absolutely, it smells good. Smells sweet.
So my last question before we have moved from over there, a lot of people were arrested for cannabis use, cannabis selling. How do you feel now that the government is also trying to make it up to people who were incarcerated by allowing them a little bit of a fast path to get more weight to like rehabilitate?
Well, first, shout out to the New York State because at least we, I think, did something that any other state hasn't done yet, and we at least tried to. Not tried. We open. We're here. We're proof of that, right? We're proof of the program that happened here in New York State that it hasn't happened anywhere else. Where people that look like me and Vlad open up a dispensary first in any other market, right? So we were the first to be in the recreational market, which it didn't happen in any other state. So I gotta be proud of that.
Yeah, I'm super proud to be from the Empire State, from New York City, because what the OCM and the people that wrote this law have done is revolutionary. It's the first time anywhere where people that look like us are owning dispensaries first, and that the majority of the market is ran by locals, marginalized people, people like me that have been arrested 22 times, that were done time in prison for weed. In other states, you would actually get barred from even trying to apply or be part of the market. So this is revolutionary, and I think that it's going to create a market unlike any other because the culture and the locals are at the helm of the market, not corporate other people that do not care about the community. So I think that we're going to see in the future how this market shapes out better and bigger than others because of it.
So what do you? So we're in the last quarter of the year. What do you guys think about you guys?
Well, this is our first dispensary, so shout out to that. And our second spot is going to be in Brooklyn, so we're opening a second dispensary in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn, 453 14th Avenue. Shout out to that.
We're giving y'all some Wall Street insider trading information here.
Just don't get me arrested though.
Nah, so that's our near future. We're gonna continue with the podcast and make sure that the past, present, and future of Happy Munkey will still here.
And then, we're for the surprises you never know. We're starting with two dispensaries. We don't plan on stopping there. We also don't plan on stopping with our events that we've done in the past. We plan on hopefully bringing some of those back in the future. I don't know. TBD. You gotta stay in tune. Go to happymonkey.com and stay in tune and find out. But yeah, we just really hope to really add a level of culture, education, and New York flyness to the retail game that hasn't been seen. So look out for that. Cause y'all know we don't do it for the clout. We do it for the culture.
And guys, that was it. We were rolling on location. I am a happy camper right now. I can stop annoying the shit out of these two guys. Just like come over here. Where can they find you all?
Everything happymonkey.com. Happy Monkey with a U. Make sure you spell it correctly. You can find everything there. You can find the podcast. You can find the store addresses. Everything that's on the store is there. Everything that has to do with Happy Monkey, you can find it there.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you learn anything today, remember you're too blessed to be stressed. Things will get greater later. Just gotta always choose happy.
Thank you so much.